Have you ever met someone and within like 5 minutes your brain goes, yes, this is the one. They will be the co-owner of my future dog, the person I send memes to at 2 a.m., and the reason my phone battery is always at 3%. Meanwhile, the other person barely remembers your name and thinks your favorite color is, maybe blue? Yeah. You might be someone who gets attached a little too quickly. And don't worry, you're not alone. I'm right there with you. In fact, I get attached so fast that sometimes I confuse myself. I'll meet someone in the cereal aisle at the store and go, wow, they also like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Is this destiny? Should we get married right here between the Cheerios and the granola bars? But today, we're diving into the real reason you get attached so fast, why your heart sprints while everyone else is casually strolling, and how you can chill without turning into a brick wall. So grab a snack, maybe a glass of emotional stability, and let's jump into this. First though, here's the painfully honest truth. If you get attached quickly, it doesn't mean you're weird, broken, or emotionally needy. It usually means your heart takes the express train when everyone else uses the slow bus. You love easily. You care deeply. You see good in people, which is great until it's not. Because sometimes your heart is basically like a kid in a candy store. I want that one, and that one, and oh, this one looks nice too. So, why does this happen? Let me drop the first big reason. Reason number 1. Your brain is a hopeless romantic even when you're not. Look, your brain loves patterns. It loves connecting dots that don't need connecting. Someone texts you back quickly? Your brain, soulmate. They ask how your day was? Your brain, wedding venue ideas. They laugh at your joke? Your brain, oh my God, we're naming our firstborn after this moment. Your brain takes tiny little things, basic human interactions, and blows them up into a romantic trailer for a movie that doesn't exist. You're not imagining a person, you're imagining the idea of them, which is adorable, but also dangerous, because the idea in your mind is usually way more perfect than the actual person. The person leaves dishes in their sink for 3 weeks. The person snores like a lawnmower. The person uses the wrong "you're" in texts. But the movie version in your head, that one has their life together, speaks in perfect grammar, and smells like a lavender candle. Let's go deeper. Reason number 2. You're probably starved for connection, emotionally. Not like actually starving unless you forgot to eat again. Sometimes, people get attached quickly because they haven't felt genuinely seen or understood in a long time. So when someone finally shows even a breadcrumb of attention, just a little crumb like a tiny emotional crouton, you're like, yes, finally, someone gets me. Please never leave. It's not that you're desperate. It's that you've been running on emotional Wi-Fi that keeps disconnecting, and then someone walks in with full bars. Of course you get excited. Of course you get attached. Of course you start picturing them in your future group photos. It's normal, but it's also why you get disappointed so quickly. Reason number 3. You confuse compatibility with chemistry. Chemistry is easy. Chemistry is fun. Chemistry is when you both laugh at the same meme or complain about how cold the AC is. Compatibility, though, that's the hard stuff. Like, do they communicate? Do they listen? Do they respect you? Do they have goals besides vibes and snacks? Do they return shopping carts to the cart area, or do they just abandon them in the parking lot like chaos gremlins? But when you get attached quickly, your brain sees chemistry and goes, close enough. Same thing. Print the wedding invitations. Which leads to the next reason. Reason number 4. You build the relationship in your head way faster than in real life. You know exactly what I mean. You meet someone, you talk a little, and your imagination immediately quits its job as a normal human imagination and becomes the CEO of a fantasy development company. You start designing the house, picking out the dog breed, planning vacations, creating Spotify playlists, calculating how your names would look together. Meanwhile, the actual relationship is still at, hey, what's up? Nothing much, you? Your mind is racing laps. Reality is still stretching before the warm-up. And honestly, you don't mean to do it. It just happens. Your brain wants to skip the talking stage and jump straight to the soft launch on Instagram stage. Reason number 5, you're scared of being alone, just a tiny bit. Not in a dramatic way, but you might feel like having someone is safer than not having someone. Even if they're not the right person. Even if the connection is flimsy. Even if they give you a weird vibe sometimes. Attachment becomes comforting because it fills the silence. It fills the empty space. It makes your life feel like it's moving forward. And that leads to reason number 6. You ignore red flags because hope is louder. Maybe they reply once every 17 hours. Maybe they give compliments like they're rationing oxygen. Maybe their idea of effort is thinking about texting you back but then not doing it. But hope whispers, no. They're just busy or tired or allergic to communication. Maybe they're fighting for their life. Let's give them another chance. You want the connection to work so badly that you convince yourself the bare minimum is actually the maximum. And honestly, I've been there too. It's like when you order something online and it arrives completely wrong. But you keep it anyway because you don't want to admit you wasted money. We do the same thing with people sometimes. Reason number 7. You attach to how people make you feel, not to who they actually are. You're not falling for the person, you're falling for the version of yourself that comes alive around them. They make you feel excited, appreciated, wanted, special, noticed, interesting, funny. They activate a part of your heart that's been sitting there like, hello? Anybody? I'm bored. So when someone brings that feeling back, it's like emotional fireworks. Your brain doesn't want to let that go. And now we get to one of the biggest reasons. Reason number 8. You grew up having to earn love. Hear me out. If you had experiences where love, approval, or attention wasn't given freely, where you had to overthink, overgive, or overperform, you may have learned that attachment is something you cling to quickly because it feels rare. Your brain associates affection with urgency. Like, if I don't hold on to this immediately, it'll disappear. You might not even realize you're doing it. It's automatic. But it teaches your brain to chase, not choose. Reason number 9. You don't set emotional speed limits. When you meet someone you like, you don't go slow. You don't pace yourself. You go from 0 to 200 like you're in a Fast and Furious movie. And the only rule is, there are no rules. You text a lot. You think a lot. You imagine a lot. You invest a lot. You get emotionally attached within a time frame that can only be described as lightning round. There's no checkpoint, no pause button, no moment where you ask yourself, do I actually know this person? Do they deserve this much of my energy? Do they like me the way I like them? The feelings go first. The logic arrives late like, hey guys, what did I miss? Everything. Reason number 10. You're a giver. And givers give emotionally first. You love deeply. You care automatically. You're generous with your affection, your time, your attention. You don't play games. You don't ration emotions. If you like someone, you show it. Which is beautiful, but also dangerous, because not everyone you meet deserves that level of heart. So what do you do about it? How do you stop getting attached so fast without turning into a cold, emotionally frozen piece of human furniture? Let me give you the survival guide. Tip number 1. Don't trust the feeling until you have facts. Wait, observe. Learn who they are when they're comfortable, angry, stressed, busy, excited. Don't get attached to their potential. Get attached to their patterns. Tip number 2. Let people earn closeness. Not because you're playing games, but because your heart is VIP. You don't let people walk straight into the emotional penthouse. They need a wristband first, a background check, maybe even a quick Google search. Tip number 3. Slow down the fantasy. When your brain starts planning your beach wedding, just say, hey, that's enough. We don't even know if they use proper deodorant yet. Keep your imagination on a leash. Tip number 4. Check if they invest in you equally. If you're giving 90% and they're giving 9%, you're not bonding, you're babysitting the relationship. Tip number 5. Don't make someone a priority just because they made you feel something once. Feelings are temporary. Consistency is real. Tip number 6. Build a full life so you're not attaching out of emotional emptiness. Friends, hobbies, goals, self-care. All of that makes your heart more grounded and less desperate for the first spark of attention. Tip number 7. Remember this: attachment should be built, not rushed. If someone is meant for you, you won't need to sprint. Walking will be enough. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. You're not too much. Your feelings aren't wrong. Your ability to care isn't a flaw. Getting attached quickly doesn't mean you're weak. It means you have a heart that wants to connect. You just need to aim it at people who actually deserve that connection. Imagine your heart like an expensive phone. You wouldn't hand your new iPhone to a stranger at the bus stop and say, "Here, hold this indefinitely." So, maybe don't do that with your emotions either. Keep your heart open. Just don't throw it at the first person who makes eye contact with you while handing you napkins at Starbucks. And that's the real reason why you get attached so quickly. You're human. You're hopeful. You feel deeply. And honestly, that's kind of beautiful. Just make sure the next person you get attached to is genuinely worth the Wi-Fi connection you've been giving them.